shooting pornos.
I ain't even go to casino today because I ain't know if they was gonna take over the casino. I'm like, let me take my ass to the house and watch the news, see what these white folks is really doing out here.
So it's bad enough Monica's late, and then she gonna be extra late.
Give her a moment.
We about to start it without her, and then so I can find her another $20.
Well, she was there though.
I mean, we only got half a show to do. Do you still got all the shit from last night?
Yeah, but I figure we just redo the show. Let's just redo it.
I'm saying we still have some good shit, right, Crack?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta take something. Like, motherfucker, I might not feel the same as I felt yesterday.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel you, but nigga, y'all asking me to do a hell of a lot tonight. And
what do you mean? It's two different videos. How hard is it to cut and edit it?
You're right, I guess. You know what I mean?
I know, because you pulled up the same.
Because I don't have a newborn baby in the other room. You know what I'm saying? Crying all hours of the day.
Make sure I get a significant amount of airtime. Working on my skincare regimen lately.
I was trying to get you a whole episode, but they don't want you on it. They try to
No,
cut your
we didn't
airtime,
say we couldn't do a whole episode. We just said you have to use stuff from the last one.
Yeah, that's fine. I just want a good amount of airtime.
And let's get this clear first and foremost. Kelly was not sick. She was not busy. She was asleep.
You know why I was asleep, man? Because I was on the second day of my fucking period, and you don't know what that shit's like.
You know what?
All right, I'm sorry.
I feel you.
Woo!
I was wrong about you, thought that you was the one. I wrote a song about you, thought that I was your son. Funny thing was, I ain't even believe in love until I met you. Now we cover matching tattoos, I should've slapped you. Promised my cousin Sarah get at you.
And then did you see the picture that I sent to the group chat with the one black bull in the Capitol with all the white bulls? What is he doing?
He's
I
just
don't know.
listen.
He was the only black nigga that was able to get in.
Is that photoshopped?
Like photoshopped. Yeah, I think so.
He trying to get in. He
Because
trying
I
to get
didn't see
in
no
when he-
niggas outside the buildings. I didn't see no black people. It was all like
I don't know, because he might have a MAGA hat on in that picture too.
Yeah, I think it was photoshopped.
I can't.
It was,
It really
And it was
can't.
like the weird thing, it was like it was all old white people. It wasn't even like younger people. It was
I
like people in
know.
their 40s and 50s.
well, that's
And
you know, that's
60.
that's
That's
the
the age
motherfuckers
group,
still
though.
trying to hold on to that mentality.
Right. Absolutely.
'Cause these young
There's a
kids-
lot of people from up this way that went down there.
Yeah, I bet there is a lot of racist weirdos from around the way. We went to school with a few of them hillbillies.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
deleted
no.
one on Facebook today.
Listen, I'll be honest. I ain't friends with hardly any of them, so I don't see them motherfuckers.
That's the only one I seen, so I got rid of him.
Had to cancel him. Had to cancel his contract.
Because you get on your feed, and I don't be on social media like that, so it's like to get on like once a week and then see like the one racist friend that got connected to. I'm like, oh man.
Hey Corey, you see what she's doing?
Is she reading?
Yeah, now you want to see what she's reading?
Yeah.
Let Daddy see real quick.
Get out there, Aubrey.
I know that's right.
Hey,
right.
baby girl.
You know what I mean?
What's that, like the kids version?
No, that's the real one.
There's only like, there ain't many like this. It's just straightforward, like the
I
book.
didn't know that book was so big. Is
Yeah.
that like a special edition or something?
Well, yeah, but it's hardback and all that too, so it makes it look a little bigger.
Okay.
I didn't, to be honest. I mean, it's a great book. Don't get me wrong, but I didn't really. It wasn't like one of the books I studied a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like I had it a few times. I bought it, but I haven't. That's not one of the books I kind of go back to.
What book is this?
The Art of War.
Oh, okay.
It's a great book. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it is.
It's the shit, but it's not one of the ones that I kind of use. I don't utilize that book as much as others do. I do 48. 48's my shit more or less.
Yeah, I've read that the most.
Yeah, I kind of go back to it every, like probably once a week. I'll like read a chapter just in my phone. I don't even have.
I wish I did it that much. I'm probably like once every couple months. But
yeah, I don't have the physical copy.
Back to that one.
But
I used to have them all. I used to have all of them. I don't have them all anymore, but I still got some.
What's that? Your marbles?
Huh?
I said, what's that? Your marbles?
Oh, I'm a little high, you know.
I'm a lot of high. That's why I thought that was fucking hilarious.
Well, let me give you a little energy, Kel.
Dang.
Ooh, thank you.
Is that what I think it is?
What?
No.
I hope not. That should turn my stomach just now. I was like, what?
No.
This
Oh,
is energy, man.
That's that crumble shit?
No, it's crystals.
Oh yeah, then it was.
Tell us what
It was
you got
similar.
there. You know,
I was thinking the right thing then, because I was like, man,
obsidian. What do you got there? Well, anyway, you got a nice little setup there.
I got my sage burning right now.
You got the sage burning. That's what I'm talking about, man.
All right, listen, y'all ready? Happy New Year's to everybody, and welcome to another episode of Phoenixville to Phoenix. This is episode 14. Am I wrong?
Believe so.
It's 14, episode 14. We've been rocking at this joint for 14 weeks now. Every week we give you new content. I'm here with my co-host. To my left is Ike, Uncle Ike Murder. You know what I mean? To my right is Bombshell Kel. Below Bombshell Kel is Responsible Monnie. You know what I mean? I don't know. Sounds good. You're responsible, so it works. And then our special guest, our special guest who really isn't a guest at all. You know, he's been on the podcast more times than Kelly, but I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But
that was amazing.
But yo, this new year is set off with a crazy coup. Was it a coup? Was it a coup? Listen, for those that don't know, you know, the Capitol building was stormed today by I guess Trump supporters. We were, you know, I don't want to call them hillbillies. They're Trump supporters. They support Trump. I think they felt like Trump was wronged in the election, which I kind of disagree with, but whatever, you know. I'm not the one storming the White House either, so.
Capitol building.
The Capitol building, so. It's a white building. It's a White House. Does anyone live there? No one really lives there. House of Representatives is there, so it's a house. It's a White House, I guess. You
know, I did see a lot of like people like keeled over. I guess people who work in the Capitol building, and of course older people, because everybody's like fucking 80 or 95,000 years old in there. But they're like, there's one lady laying on the floor, and you could tell like she probably was having a heart attack or about to. So that type of stuff really got to me before like I even really thought about why like everything was going on. You know what I mean? I seen like old people like just stretched out and terrified.
How did that make you feel though? On some real shit. Like how did you feel when you were watching it?
Well, you know, I'm an empath. So I mean that I actually like felt that shit. It made me really upset, you know. It's something that I felt instantaneously in my gut, like something's wrong. And then it, you know, it got me to the point where like, what is going on? Because it seemed just like too much, almost bogus.
I like that. That could segue right. I'm gonna set it off with that and say that as soon as I turned it on, I literally said to the phone, because a friend called me, we were talking about it, and I was like, fuck it, let me turn it on. And I said, this is fake. I said, there's nothing about this that looks real. Just it looks staged like a motherfucker. That's just me. Again, I didn't watch it. I probably missed maybe an hour or two of it. Maybe an hour of it, before I turned it on and started watching it. But it didn't look real to me. The fact that they literally broke into the John, they're running around on the floor of the fucking Congress room or the House of Representatives. Right. So they're in the room taking Instagram pictures, and they didn't they let these guys walk away. They
stealing mail. Like the dude had Nancy Pelosi's mail and was on his social media with her mail. And
mind you, they're gonna go back and arrest these dudes. But literally, if I commit a crime up the street, they're gonna arrest me now. They're not gonna say, okay, we'll go home and we'll come and get you when the cameras prove that it was you or whatever.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they let the white boy that shot and killed the protesters out in Milwaukee. They let him drive to another state, sleep, and then get him to the next day.
Very true. Very true. And then all these people, I think, posted his bond and got him out of jail, which is another, that's just people. You have the right to make bail, if you're white in this country. You know what I mean? Because black people don't get that same right under, you know what I'm saying, the same fucking shit. I don't know. But it's not really about black and white right
I didn't know about that. What law are you referring to with that?
No, I'm just saying how bonds are posted they'll put someone's bond at $1 million when you have a right to post bail. So they're supposed to make it a reasonable bond. You know what I'm saying? They can deny you bond if they feel like you're a flight risk, but they used to set my bail at $100,000. There's no way in hell I ever had $100,000. So you're not setting it. That's not under the law.
That was your 10% price?
No, that was my full bond. And then sometimes that's how they get around it by saying, okay, we'll give them 10%. You're supposed to set my original bond, no 10%, at something I can post.
Right.
Because everyone has the right to bail out. You know what I'm saying? So it's what they do. It's how they play the game. It's how they keep us in prison and get time out of the.
Did you ever have bail, Crack?
Yeah, I was just gonna say that it's crazy though that you said that, Corey. You was like, they know I never had 100,000. Because no lie, the judge literally said it to me when we got locked up down in the city that year when we were still in high school, and I ended up going to court and all that on the screen. And the judge literally asked me, he was like, "Are your parents rich?" And I was like, "No." He was like, "Then you probably won't be going home." He was like, 200,000.
Oh my goodness.
Hold on, if you don't mind me asking, what kind of case was it?
Robbery.
A robbery case, $200,000 bail. It wasn't.
I mean, the charges look bad though. I mean, it was a robbery. They had kidnapping. They had all the gun charges and everything. Yeah. So it looked really bad on paper.
Right.
But the actual thing, I mean, I wasn't there. That's why I ended up getting off of it. And because I literally wasn't there for it. I was in the car with the person afterwards.
Right.
So when we all got pulled over, everyone got locked up. But they supposedly just robbed somebody on the street. It wasn't no kidnapping, no nothing like that. But they put all them charges on there, like they always do, loaded up so some stick.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, but it made it look so bad. The judge literally was just like, "Man, you're not going home."
Damn.
I was going to say, nobody that I've known that's ever gotten locked up, regardless really of the situation, has been eligible for bail, or it's so high that you can't pay it.
It's so high you can't post it.
I thought that bail had to do with what type of crimes you committed, was how that they ranked.
It's supposed to be based off that, but they're also supposed to take into consideration your financial status and how can we make it reasonable to where, pretty much because bail was meant to be, it's a right. You have a right to post bail. You know what I'm saying? In some cases now, and there's murder cases and stuff where they won't post bail at all because.
Or if you're on parole or probation, you can't post bail.
You can in some things. I think state you can. Can't
you could post bail on any of them, but then you still have to sit for your detainer. They just got to give you a hearing.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You can post.
Yeah, then you get a hearing and you got to hope they let you go, which most of the times they don't.
Yeah.
Especially in the county. County never does. And I think that other situation's a little different because dude's bail was a lot. you know, he shot 2 people or whatever. His bail was over $1 million or whatever. But I think there was an organization that got together to got the money up to bail him out, which I don't knock. I mean, shit, I wish there was more organizations out there that would support fucking car thieves and shit like me. I would have maybe got out and danced a little bit, got a little more coochie before I had to go do my time.
Okay.
Whatever, you know. But I don't commit crimes anymore, so we good. You know what I mean? I just direct videos. You know what I mean? Just call me the director guy. I'm gonna be the video guy soon. By the end of the year, I'm the video guy.
I can see that for sure.
You know what I mean? We're getting there.
It's all happening, bruh.
It's happening, I think. Who knows?
You
So
did
how
it.
did we all feel though? Like, how else did we feel about today? I felt as though it was kind of fake, especially when they just let these people walk away. I was just like, come on, are you serious? Like, not that I want to see people get locked up, but it's like, bro, you like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Nobody got
think-
arrested today?
I'm sure some people did. I mean, I'm
Okay.
not
He said that
saying
lady
nobody.
that got shot died.
Yeah, she died.
She did.
Yeah. I mean,
And my thing is this: when black and brown people was getting chopped down earlier last year or whatever, mid last year, whatever that shit, you know,
Mhm.
there was a little stint where that shit was jumping.
right.
It seemed like people was happy that, man, they should have shot him. He shouldn't have ran at the cops. That lady gets shot for storming the Capitol building, and I feel for her. I'm like, damn, dog, like, cause I don't know. I just don't look at it like that.
Me either.
She's not my enemy, even though she may think she is, or maybe she thinks she isn't. I don't know what her political status or her belief system was, but I wasn't feeling it.
You know what it is if she stormed that building.
Yeah. I don't understand where you're getting at with that one. You know exactly who she is.
I mean, I still don't wish no harm on nobody, obviously. I'm a
Yeah.
Trump supporter. I got him behind me. The only thing that's disappointed me as a Trump supporter in all this is why Trump started the rally and was like, why don't we walk down there together and storm the building? But as they started to go, Trump rolled out. And that's what's disappointing for us Trump supporters is that Trump didn't come with
So
us.
hold on.
Bitch.
So hold on. Trump
You
was,
wanna
we know this for a fact. Trump was
Yeah,
actually
that's what happened. Yeah, the rally started. Trump was like, I'll go down there with y'all. They started moving, and then Trump dipped off back to the White House.
He
and was
turned
watching
around.
the
He was like, nah, I changed my mind. Y'all go ahead.
Do we got a fact check here? Does this really happen? Do we know
Nah,
this?
Then what happened was they had he had a rally this morning, and he started hyping up his protesters as he always does, and he got them so hyped up. He was like,
Well, I believe that they knew that there was going to be this situation like several days ago, because I think that they had called out for I don't know, extra assistance or something like that, because today is the day that they would confirm the election. And it's the same day each year, so I guess they anticipated this happening anyway.
Right.
So it wasn't like out of nowhere. So so that could be, I mean, that could be true. I don't know. He might have said something prior or today. I don't really know.
No, I know for a fact. I've been here watching it. Yeah, Trump had a rally this morning. He got the protesters rallied up. He said, let's walk down there now. They started walking, and Trump dipped off, and they took over the building. Yeah, that's what happened.
Well, Trump.
I was
we charge
surprised
him?
when I seen it that they were able to get in the building. And I hear, you know, I'm not big on history. It's like my least favorite subject. But I thought this was like the first time that this happened, but I come to find out it's not. It's happened a lot of times.
No, this hasn't happened since the 1800s. And
Yeah,
that
they've
was when
broken.
the Britain came over here.
No,
Yeah,
it happened in the 60s.
No, it didn't. This
Yes,
hasn't
it did.
happened since
It was
1800.
the Puerto Rican nationalists went in to the house while they were voting on something and shot over 30 rounds and shot 5 congressmen because they wanted Puerto Rico to not be a U.S. territory. And then they all got arrested, and that's how that happened. So that happened, and I believe they bombed 2 Senate rooms. There's been a lot of stuff that happened at this building that I wasn't aware of. I just found that out today.
Okay.
But not the 1800s, definitely not.
Capitol Hill, not the White
I mean,
House.
everything I
Yeah,
see on
never-
TV,
not at
that's
the
all they've
White
been
House.
talking about is how this hasn't happened since the 1800s.
We
That
could
this
look it
building
up.
was
It's
taken
the Puerto Rican nationalists did it. Were the last people that did it, I believe.
Maybe that was
What?
a different building or something.
What are we saying they did?
They went into the House when the House were voting on a bill. I don't know what bill.
Yeah, what
And-
you say in the Capitol building?
Yes,
All right, I'm gonna look it up.
All right, he's going to fact check.
50s or 60s.
Thanks, Joe.
He's going to fact check it, and we'll move on to something else. Well, we'll keep it here, but let's, I did hear. My thing is this: isn't that conspiracy? If you tell them, "Yo, we're going to storm the White House and rally a bunch of people up," and then you dip off, that's still conspiracy under the law, right?
Sounds
Well,
like
that's
it
why
to
the
me.
Republicans are trying to get him impeached immediately.
Mhm.
I mean, he should be. Did you hear what he said? Did you hear his statement? I watched it when he gave it live. I was like, yo, I couldn't believe he's saying this. I looked at my brother-in-law, and we looked at each other like he really is just standing his ground on this, which is it's honorable, but it's kind of crazy.
But what
And
did
you
he say?
notice like
He
how the
told him to
people
go home. He told him to go home, but he said, we were ripped off. They frauded us. They stole this election. We know we're right, but we don't have to stoop down to the level. So guys, just go home. But he wasn't real serious about going home. He was pushing the agenda that,
As he always does.
they're wrong, we're right, and kind of
Right.
rallying them up. But it was crazy. I mean, it was definitely entertaining. But I
He's
don't.
always entertaining.
This whole shit, I don't know what's to come after this. Like, what happens next?
This says last U.S. Capitol breach was by British during War of 1812.
1812. That's the last time this happened.
The War of 1812?
When the
Maybe.
British came over. This how crazy this was. This hasn't happened since the British tried to come, in the
British are coming.
1800s.
The British are coming.
Well, I do know that Monica is correct about that Puerto Rican national. I know that story. I don't know it like.
Yeah, it might have been
I
a
haven't
different
studied
building.
it.
I'm not familiar with
It
that.
could have been a
story. I just
different
know this
building.
particular building had never been taken over since the
Well,
British.
the building is where it's the same building. It's where the House and Senate are and where they vote.
Yeah.
So, if you look up, I'll do it again here. Let me see.
Well, let's get it. So I just want, so the people get some knowledge. We be dropping knowledge on, and listen, we are not a political podcast, but we do touch on current events, and this is some huge shit. So, if you don't come here for the politics, understand that we usually don't do podcasts like this. We usually touch on shit and keep it moving, but this is, this is history right here. This is a day.
1954 United States Capitol building shooting. The attack was on March 1st, 1954 by Puerto Rican nationalists. They shot 30 rounds from semi-automatic pistols from the ladies' gallery of the House of Representatives chamber in the United States Capitol. They wanted to highlight their desire for Puerto Rican independence from U.S. rule, shooting 5 congressmen. All nationalists were arrested, tried and convicted in federal court, and given long sentences, effectively life in prison.
There it is.
So, are these just different parts of the Capitol building we're talking about, maybe?
No, I just assume it was probably a different building.
No, it's a different building. I'm
Yeah,
reading it too. It's just
I would assume
the
it's a
actual
different building.
Capitol.
Like
whole
on Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But it
maybe I'm
was
another
confused because
building there.
when they showed the people going in today, and they're in where Nancy Pelosi is, she's a member of the House, and you show how they're like trying to breach the people, and the House members have their guns drawn and stuff like that. So this is where they vote. This is where they meet. So maybe in the 50s it may have been 2 blocks over or a block over, but I think it's still the same. The building represents the same thing. It's where they meet to sign laws and stuff like that.
Capitol Hill, right?
Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you guys happen to know anybody that's like a Trump supporter we could call, maybe get on the show? Maybe they could chime in and give us the Trump point of view. You know what I mean? Get the opposite end.
We already got the Trump.
Yeah,
point of view.
Isaac.
Yeah, I'm the only one.
Okay.
I don't have any other friends that support.
Ike-
Trump.
Ike's
I'm the one
representing-
that
Like you're
support Trump.
representing for the good old boys, huh?
I mean, I don't have any friends that support
First
Trump.
of all, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking?
Yeah, that's not a
Oh,
Rolling
it's
Rock.
ginger ale.
Oh,
Ginger
okay.
ale.
Oh,
Okay.
nice.
I thought
you
it was
said-
Heineken.
I thought it was a
Me too.
Rolling Rock. If it was a Heineken, you're not a true Trump guy. The Trump guy. They drink more Rolling Rock, domestic type beers.
I'm a ginger ale type of guy.
Budweiser, Busch.
I love ginger ale, man.
Yeah, I'm addicted to it.
Yeah.
You know what I kind of
no.
like?
Hold on. I got this is from them. The House
From
of
them.
Chamber, that's the one that was with the nationalists,
Puerto Rican national.
Okay.
is known as the Hall of the House of Representatives. It's a large assembly room located in the center of the U.S. Capitol's south wing. So it's just a part of the U.S. Capitol.
Yeah,
Right.
so it is. It's in the same building.
Yeah, it's just not what they breached.
Yeah. It's just, I guess they breached a different. They broke in through the basement and didn't get the credit.
They came in through
Yo,
the back door.
they don't want to give Puerto Rican and black people nothing, dog. They won't even get us credit for breaking into the motherfucking John. Man, these niggas broke in, aired some shit out, and they still like, nah, the last time we were breached was 1820. Fuck out of here. See how the history.
Yeah,
Listen,
and
this
that's
is the
why,
history.
what
This is-
Monica's saying might be like real, but on the news they not telling us that. They
Nah,
telling us
listen.
but the
On some real
British
shit.
that breached this shit.
On the real shit though, they don't give you credit for shit.
It's true, because when I just searched it, that's what all it was 1812. They not
Yeah.
giving them credit for their work.
Well,
Yeah.
they don't give, they ain't giving nobody credit for that. Why? Because they don't want other people like Black Lives Matter. Or
And now we
whoever else.
see why Puerto Rico ain't like a state and shit, because the motherfuckers wasn't having it. Yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
They
they
stood
was shooting
tall.
shit up like, nah, we gonna still be separate. You know what I mean?
They
And
stood tall.
Dottie was down there tossing toilet paper around or paper towel.
Yeah.
Step your bubble game up though. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sure Corey has the most vicious bubble game.
Listen, they used to call me Bubbles upstate, man. I was vicious blowing bubbles.
Whoa.
That is some weird ass shit, dog.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna use that for the intro to this motherfucker too. Bubbles upstate.
Don't tell nobody that shit, man.
Man, listen, if you believe they called me Bubbles upstate,
Look at Donald. Donald in the corner, like, yup, that's Bubbles.
hey Bubbles. What's up with Donnie? So, yo, real quick, what were they trying to accomplish? Were they just like standing tall? Let's say this was real. Let's say this.
No, what it was, they was counting the electoral votes. That's what they stopped.
Okay. So
They stopped them from counting. So Biden,
So
I guess,
every,
still isn't named president.
from what
I
I
don't
read
So they
about
were
this,
they were trying to disrupt the court proceedings or whatever that was going on today.
Yeah.
believe
so
so.
I guess like every election on the 6th, they count votes, right?
Yeah.
So what's
Yeah.
going on is since, from my understanding, since there was allegations of fraud, and that these I guess they had meetings with state legislators and stuff like that. So I think Pennsylvania, Georgia, and a couple other states, the legislators wanted them to not count their votes because they wanted to do like further investigation on the fraud that they had found. So, and I believe Arizona was one of them. So as they were
Yeah, they
getting
were.
ready to debate Arizona's votes, I guess, that's when that stopped and then they weren't able to proceed. So I guess the rule is like, once you have a debate about something, I think you debate 2 hours and then they have to reach a decision and then they'll move to like another state that's maybe contested, or they'll go through the states that aren't. So it's just
Yeah.
like a whole process.
Right.
So then they're not able to do that, obviously, because all that happened. So I guess that'll reconvene at another time, I guess.
You know what? Because I was wondering why they were so gung-ho about. They kept saying after they were dispersing everybody around 6 o'clock when the curfew hit, they kept saying, yes, these congressmen are going to, or the Senate or whoever, I don't know who the fuck is in there doing this stuff. But they said, yeah, they're going to get right back on it. They're going to have this meeting or this whatever immediately and finish this. Because I didn't realize how important it was. You know, I don't follow this stuff. So I just see it and I just, look at it kind of I stand back from it. I don't get emotionally attached to any of it. That's why I look at these Trump guys and I can say I probably don't care for them that much because of what I feel like they represent. But at the same time, I don't really care what they do. They could storm, they could rally all they want. It doesn't bother me. Same with like Black Lives Matter and stuff. I don't really get down with any of that stuff. People can do what they want, and I support people that stand tall for something.
Right.
Whatever it is. Like if these dudes feel like they were cheated, I'm cool with you protesting or doing whatever you're doing. I think breaking into the fucking Capitol was crazy, but I mean, whatever. Whatever you feel like you need to do to stand tall, or at least to be honorable amongst your own beliefs is cool with me. You know what I mean? As long as you ain't hurting other people too. I don't like, that's the part I don't like. Like,
That's what I don't like.
don't let
is
y'all
people
shit
got
affect
hurt.
me.
People got hurt, so you know.
Listen, I'm about to we about to arm this crib up. I'm scared of shit. For real, for real.
I've noticed that with like a lot of protests lately. I think the goal is to be peaceful protests, and then there's always certain people that like antagonize it and make it really bad. Like with the protests they were having before, and then remember, like even down Philly, they were like, "You ain't even from here." Remember the protesters, and they were throwing people out and stuff like that. Like I said, they were like antagonizing situations.
Right.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of the people.
The
They go to different riots and try to escalate them.
Was it Antifa or something?
I think something like that. But I remember like when they were doing the riots in Philly, like people that, you know, when you can tell when somebody's not from around somewhere.
Yeah.
So I guess some of the protesters were looking at these people like, you ain't even from
right.
here. And they were actually bringing them over to the cops. Like, here, take these motherfuckers. So whatever group it is, I think there's several of them that will go around in different riots and make, or not protests and make them riots and things like that.
And maybe that happened here. Maybe it was a group of people that just was rallying people and all like that.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same people that were doing,
it probably
that were causing riots last time as well. Yeah.
I think anytime you're a threat to the establishment,
I think these people are different though. Because those people are like armed and shit. These was just like protesters that was just there for Trump's rally. I
was surprised that I didn't see anybody down there like strapped up all crazy. Because then it
would have been a shootout.
It would have got goofy.
You notice how well I'm on Twitter. Well, Twitter deleted all Trump's tweets now, and he's banned from Twitter for the next 12 hours. But if you notice, Trump, I don't know, maybe y'all don't because y'all not on Twitter.
This is a joke, bro.
During the whole time, kept telling when they had like, you know, when they took over the building, he kept tweeting, just be peaceful, please be peaceful. Like telling them people, y'all can take over shit, but just don't, like, you know what I mean, start shooting shit up. And you see how they got let go peacefully.
That's why I think it was set up. I think it was all like,
absolutely.
We're gonna let y'all in. We're gonna let y'all tear up the lobby a little bit, and then y'all got to get the fuck out of there when we tell you to get the fuck out of there. Because I think it was. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm trying to figure out what that accomplishes.
Man, that's what I don't understand.
Because you don't allow something like this to happen without an agenda.
Now he's banned from Facebook now for 24 hours.
What? Why? Banned him until he's out of office or something.
Oh my God.
I mean, the thing is, he just has so much power that him speaking now, people are going to listen to him, and they don't want no like other.
It's too much. He shouldn't be on Twitter anyway. Come on.
He's the president. Like, come on, bro. You got
weird. I think it's fucking weird.
It's the weirdest shit ever. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this when it comes to like just a president's behavior.
Right. I mean, it's weird that we as the people, we voted this man in. You know what I mean?
Well, a lot of people would say that maybe we didn't. Maybe Russia had a hand in it.
Nah, I know a lot of people that voted for Trump.
Maybe this election, maybe he did get cheated. Maybe it was karma coming back to get him because he stole the 2016 election. Some people believe that. That's just, just, I guess, conspiracy or whatever you want to call it. I think there was some sort of facts to back it, but I don't really get into all that. So Chris Brickhouse could help us out with that. We need Chris Brickhouse on here for an episode.
Yes, we do.
Next time we have some type of political episode, I think we should invite Chris Brickhouse. Yeah. Honestly, I just think
try to get him on next week.
He's from Phoenixville, and he likes to have these conversations. He could probably enlighten us on some stuff because he definitely does his research.
Yeah, he does all his research.
And he may be
And
somewhat
top of that,
biased.
genuinely good guy, like a really
No, he
good
is.
guy.
He is.
Stuff for the homeless.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
he does a lot with
together.
He does. I was actually just talking about him earlier because I went and did the thing today where I handed out the food to the families in Phoenixville.
Mhm.
And me and the lady was talking. Because she actually asked about. She's kind of new to the area, and she lives in Riverworks, the condo, the apartments, the new ones.
Yeah. The big Jones that
And
I helped build. I helped build those, by the way. Just saying.
And she said she noticed like a lot of certain people walking up the trail and then going off, and she noticed there was like a campsite. And I said, yeah, I said, I actually know a guy that I said does a lot of handing out tents and blankets and all that to them guys to try, get them through the winter and everything.
Yeah. Some hotel rooms, everything.
Yeah, he did housing, everything.
Yo, I was flicking through YouTube the other day, not to change the subject because this is kind of along the same lines. And there was a video on there of like the streets of Kensington or something like that, right? So I click on it. It's just a dude walking around with a camera, right? So I think me and Ike were having a conversation like a week or two ago about it. You know what I mean? He was talking about, something about
just a couple of days ago.
It was recently. And me and my girl just sat and watched it. And she was like, this is crazy. She was like, is this real? I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, this shit is as real as it gets. Like that. My thing is like, I don't care about people breaking into Capitol buildings. I give a fuck more about like, why can't we clean this up? Why do the kids that live in that neighborhood have to be deprived of even going out front to play because there's needles all over the street and there's people look like, she was like, what are they doing? They're like all like hung over trying to stand up. They won't fall over. He was like, these motherfuckers are crazy looking. And she was like, this just happens. Why? How come nobody stops this? I said, that's why I don't believe in the political system.
Right.
That's that right there, dog. You can't tell me Kensington and the Badlands been like that since we started going down there to buy weed on fucking Party Ave when we were fucking kids, 14, 15 years old.
They were not allowing you to shoot dope in front of the
No,
kids.
I'm saying it got a lot worse. It got a lot worse, Monica. But I'm saying, how can you stand out on the corner in the mid-90s and be getting away with what they was getting away with too? And I'm not trying to, throw shade on nobody, but I'm saying like, y'all got to clean this shit up, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got to find a way to clean it up so these communities don't always just breed negativity. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all our communities breed, like predominantly black.
But who are you saying need to clean it up?
Everyone, the government, like something. We're putting all this money into the $600 you're going to send everybody, or the $2,000 or whatever the fuck they're sending. Won't y'all give that shit and start cleaning up one city at a time? Let's start cleaning up Philly. Let's clean up New York, Chicago.
You'd have to probably put some laws in place in order for those people not to be able to be out there. Well, that's why it's important to not only vote, like we're talking about like big elections, right? That's one of our topics now. So I guess it just shows how important it is who you vote in for in your community as well.
I agree with that, Monica, but I don't think that's going to ever change anything. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you gotta try it.
I wonder who's who holds a majority in Philadelphia for elected officials. I like to look it up.
But I just look at it like, okay, if the state reps can't figure it out, then why ain't the president and stuff talking about this shit? I went to LA. The homelessness in LA it looks like Kensington, but LA is 10 times the size of fucking Philadelphia. It's huge. Like LA is huge. And this ain't just in one section of the city. This is all of LA. Under every freeway, there's homeless camps of hundreds of people. Like it's fucking crazy. And it's like, why can't we clean this shit up, bro? I understand that some people make bad decisions and kind of do it to themselves, but we got to understand that like 80-something% of homeless people suffer from severe mental illness. Mm-hmm. This is fact. This ain't even, we could fact check this shit. Like, this is facts. And when you see motherfuckers out there kind of talking to themselves, you're like, damn, dog, it ain't even this person's fault. He's really out here. No. Like, if we can kind of create something to, I don't fucking know. I don't got the answers, but I'm saying we got to do something more than what we're doing.
I mean,
Definitely has to be law changes. I mean, that's for sure. They have to be getting in some type of trouble for
And then we
for
lock them up. We
getting
lock
high.
them up for petty
Well, no,
crimes.
and I'm not saying that's going to be beneficial either, but I'm saying there has to be some type of law to be able to get them off the street and then maybe into a treatment facility or something that would be beneficial to them as far as recovery,
No, I agree because it's a whole process, but I just
Yeah,
think that
because you
it
can't
needs to
just
stop.
sit there and just go out there and say, because I want you off the street, you got to go. Like, there's got to be something to back it. And that's why I was saying, like, law, maybe.
That's what I can tell.
They pretty much have martial law where they could just move you.
Well, yeah, they move you from place to place,
They
but you're
could,
still there.
Monica, they could take you into custody with no charges and hold you.
But they don't.
They
There's
can,
too many
though,
people.
but they can. So they like the laws are already in place.
Hey, do you want to really know what the percentage is?
Give it to me.
30.
30%.
30% of what?
Data from research conducted in the past 5 years indicates that about 30% of people who are chronically homeless have mental health conditions.
Nah,
That's from
wrong.
HRC. That's
That's
from
not even
HRC fact sheets.
I know that's wrong. I mean, I was literally homeless, like within the last 3-4 years. I
And
was
also,
homeless for
too,
like a
Crack,
year.
I mean, I'm not
Like,
doubting
Yeah, but
what
that
you're saying.
it might have been a lot of people where you were at or that you knew or whatever, but in these other areas it might not be.
But a lot of times, like usually mental illness and drug addiction go hand in hand, but a lot of times the mental illness aspect is overlooked over it because people sometimes look at drug addiction as like a choice and things like that. So I feel like mental illness isn't recognized as much if you're an addict. Do you see what I'm saying?
But
I
a
mean,
lot of it's undocumented too. Like if I never been diagnosed, then
Yeah.
I'm not on record as having mental health. That's not the same thing though. It's
Well, yeah, I'm not saying that the number's right. You just said fact check it, so I looked it up, and that's what
you did, and I was probably
nah, yeah, but that's not true though, because I know
Monica.
for a fact, like the number one issue for homeless people is mental health. Like, because I always assumed it was
the number
drugs.
one cause. It's the number one cause of homelessness.
It is. I thought personally it was drugs. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't even a drug addict and I became homeless. You know what I mean?
Drug addiction, the drug addiction is classified as a mental illness. That's a fact.
I believe it stems from other mental illness as well.
Yeah,
but it's definitely mental illness though.
It's considered a mental illness now. That's why you can get fucking SSI and all that goofy shit for mental health illnesses and shit. You can get that shit, all that. You can go and get. They were giving us what's that shit called? Welfare and shit. Remember back when they were giving you the cash assistance and shit? Well, when you came home from jail, one of the little hustles was to get back on your feet was to go down there and say you had a mental illness. And if you did have one that had documentation of it, they would give you the little $205 a month or whatever that shit was. I forget how much they gave you, but it wasn't a lot of money, but it helps you get back on your feet when you hopping on that 56 every day. Niggas don't know about the 56. You know what I mean? Crack, you don't know about the 56, dog, coming out of Kentucky, stopping over to Dunkin' Donuts to get yourself a medium motherfucking dark roast. You know what I'm saying? A free one. You can get it free on Mondays after the Eagles game if you got the app, John. Come on, dog.
Oh, I always had somewhere to go. I never had to go to a halfway house.
Well, they made me go.
Oh, did it?
Not to say I always had a place to go, because probably both times I came home from upstate, I pretty much was homeless. I mean, I probably could have went to like my dad's or something, but I think a lot of times I was trying to get it myself. Actually, I did go home. I went home, and then somebody burnt down the Phoenix the day I got home that one time. That was when I got out of the halfway house, I think. They always made me take the booster, dog, and I ain't even have no violent cases.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they always made me take the booster class. That's why I always had to go to Kentucky and shit. Both times.
Yeah, but were you going because you were getting out earlier than your minimum?
Nah, I always got out on my middle. I never got out early. I never got good time or nothing. It's probably that white privilege, Crack. They just they cut you loose. I told you probably benefited from white privilege and didn't know.
Possibly.
I did. I benefited. I had
but
people
I tell you this,
white.
Them motherfucking jails hate me.
Yeah, they don't like you.
Them white people up in the mountains.
Because they like you could be like us and get all the privileges, but you choose to be like them, huh? You want to fuck with them daggers?
They used to do me dirty.
They racist as shit though, Crack.
Before we get on this topic, I remember you guys asked me to look to see when we were talking about the laws for like cleaning up Philly and stuff like that, and we were talking about voting. So I wanted to check. I'm actually surprised. It says that Philadelphia has been run by Democrats since 1952.
Yeah, Philly's a Democratic city. Philly's all Democratic. It's always been, yeah.
I wasn't sure. That's why I checked. Because we were talking about like if we could make like if they could change the laws to somehow get these people off the streets and maybe into like something for mental health or substance abuse or just like Corey was saying, because I feel the same way. Like my daughter goes to Philly all the time, and just having to see that stuff is just it's unnecessary.
Crazy. You can't even drive down.
I thought that's what the people wanted. That's why they got them all in one area now. Like they didn't want them all scattered all over.
No, they didn't want them on this one area that was away from everybody because Amtrak wanted to run their train through there. So they were a lot of people that were like in an encampment on train tracks, which the train had been inactive for a long time. So since they wanted to open up the train, they moved these people out. And if you notice, like, you know, all of like Kensington, all down the L, and then all the way up Allegheny, all these people were usually kind of like out of sight, out of mind a little bit. And
yeah, because they used to all hang out down by the train tracks and shit, under the Second Street Bridge and shit.
They wanted to open the trains back up, and so they had to move them.
Did they ever open the trains up? Do we know that? Okay. Mm-hmm. So at least they honored that and at least did it.
Yeah.
Because they kicked a lot of that shit was kind of hidden for years. You had them dope fiends and shit that was always that. I mean, I still think it's a lot worse. Now it's just more people. At least it's that way, or maybe you're right. Maybe they were all kind of out of the way, and now it's just kind of in your face again. But I'll start believing in the political system and start to say, okay, they give a fuck about all of us when they start giving a fuck about all of us. You know what I'm saying? Even
me personally, I don't think that's a political issue.
Because it's not.
I think it's an issue of the people. First of all, in my community, you're not going to have that shit in my community. You know what I mean? It's all about the people getting together and just being like, we don't want this in our community no more, and get rid of it.
Nah,
I know a lot of people that don't want it in Kensington, and they do everything that they can, and it's just that nothing changes.
Nah, that's been a big like talk. It's been topic. It's been front page of papers and everything. Like that shit is serious, and it's been serious.
An issue, just not.
Yeah, but how many meetings do you think all the people in the community have had together?
I would say probably zero.
But we don't know that though. We don't know that. I don't know that.
I don't know. You know it because they're still there.
But I'm just saying.
You put up my whole community, any community I've been in, you put us all together, and we can't get rid of what we don't want there. You always do. Any community gets rid of what they don't want.
You know what? Them motherfuckers need Meteor Man.
It wouldn't be that hard to get them people up out of there.
No, that was the wackest movie.
I mean, dog, they just ran up in the Capitol building, and you're telling me I can't get zombies off Kensington Street?
Like, that's what I'm saying, Ike.
They ran up in Capitol buildings. You don't think like the neighborhood could be like, we don't want these zombies in our neighborhood and get them the fuck out?
But my thing is, why would you want that there? Why would anyone that lives down there that has kids that ain't, you know what I mean, hustling or whatever? That's really
people that got kids is out of that's that because they're in that environment. They're making like whatever they, you know what I mean? That's their environment. They comfortable. They making money off that environment. Like,
but not everybody.
Now, look at people that purchased homes there before the situation was like that. I don't think that they're happy with how things are there. But then you never know. People maybe not be able to afford to move out of that area. And why should they have to leave their fucking homes because these people are doing this shit on the street?
They don't.
I don't think that's right. Half them people down there ain't even from my house. And look, and they'll step outside and they confront them, and then the people are holding freaking needles to them, saying that they got AIDS. So they're going to shoot them.
I'm not. There's nothing to talk about. They're zombies. I'm shooting them.
Then you're going to jail.
I'm shooting them. Pick up the body. I shot 3 zombies when I walked out my fucking door. Call the cops. Come pick these motherfuckers up. Pick them up. Get them the fuck out.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised that shit don't happen more.
It does happen. It happens a lot. It happens more than you think. These like that's what I'm saying. You control your area. They accept it. That's what they want. That's what they get. Like it is what it is. Like you can control
airing
your
shit
area.
out. Like just
Come on, man. Like you take a zombie going. Like you got a kid. Like come on. That's if you really is really worried about the safety of your kid. You gonna have zombies walking around outside your house?
No, but if
Let's
you
be
shoot
realistic.
them dead, then you're
That's
not
what you-
worried about the safety of your child unless you're going to be seeing them through jail the whole time.
You're not going to jail. I shot 3 zombies. Since when do you go to jail for shooting zombies?
Ike, let's say you didn't shoot him, but you're
Like
saying
we do it in a video game all day long.
making
Like,
sure
come
Ike
on,
don't
man.
indict himself. Next thing you know, my brother gonna be locked up. They talk about killed 3 homeless people on Jasper
Yeah,
Street.
you're not killing homeless people. We're talking about the zombies, I thought.
Ike shot 3 niggas
That's
on
the
Jasper.
ones that
No,
I
not
be
the
scared
homeless.
about. I'm not scared of no homeless person. I'm scared of a zombie walking out my fucking door.
So you don't think you gonna get locked up for that?
Fuck no. You're not getting locked up for that, dog.
What?
Crack.
You got
Crack.
shot
You
3 zombies
Crack.
in front of my crib with needles? Like,
Crack,
you're
you
not going
can
to jail for that?
Crack, you could walk down to the park on A and Indy and air out like 3 niggas and get away with that shit. You crazy as hell. You
You
ain't
run
going
up
to
in niggas' cribs
You
killing
is not going to
Hold
jail.
men.
At night,
Yeah, I mean,
hoodied up,
niggas getting
you ain't
away
going to
with
jail,
it.
cuz.
Killing
We're
We're
zombies.
not talking about hoodied up. We're not talking about getting away with it. He said he'll call the cops and tell them to come pick the bodies
Come
up.
clean these bodies up. You know what I mean? Let's keep this shit moving.
Man, Ike
You
hot.
can't even shoot somebody if they come in your house with a gun and kill them, and you're going to jail in PA.
Yep.
That's a damn shame.
Yeah. Well,
There's
we
no
gotta talk about
self-defense.
PA then. 'Cause
PA
we gotta
is
talk
the
about
worst.
PA. Yeah.
Yeah,
Check it out.
PA is the worst.
The Commonwealth state.
Commonwealth, there you go.
Hopefully Chris Brickhouse still wants to come on the show.
He does, right?
That's why he had me dying. He just kept saying, I'm killing zombies.
Listen, he ain't wrong though, because in a lot of
No.
places,
Not at all.
that shit wouldn't fly. Listen, imagine
He's
if-
absolutely right about with your
imagine if
kids.
imagine if you was in East Pikeland and you seen 100 zombies when you walked out. You're like, man, what?
Shooting them
Yeah,
motherfuckers.
they might start shooting them motherfuckers, and there,
I heard it's like
there would
the
just so happen to be a stand your ground on the back of the law book somewhere that nobody's seen in motherfucking PA.
Mhm.
And Zimmerman is getting off. What about Zimmerman? Zimmerman was taking pictures. He was taking pictures with
I
people
can't stand
holding
that.
Skittles,
bastard.
bro. Holding Skittles.
Signing them. He was signing them.
He was signing Skittles packs and taking pictures with
can't.
people for money.
I can't stand them.
For $100 a pop. He was killing them. And the line was wrapped around the corner. That's
Why
the
nobody
country.
kill them?
This is this great country that we live in. I don't think
Yeah.
that it's as great as we think it is, and has people like we hold it on this pedestal, like, yeah, we're the best nation on earth. No, the fuck,
But
we're
really,
not.
we're like, I mean, you know, we're probably one of the
I
worst.
mean, we are our nation though. We are.
Education wise, we suck. We get outclassed by
But
almost
just because you
every
lost to the
other.
spell bee, because you spelled no words right in the spell bee.
Well,
Our
I'm gonna blame it
education
on-
system sucks.
First of all,
Our education system sucks because like you got let down by the education system.
first of all, I had more points than Monica did, so that's what we can say. I spelled more words right than Monica. Kelly, I don't think I spelled more than Kelly.
Ike won that spelling bee. I don't even know it. You
Yeah,
tripping.
but Monica wasn't spell words off the 4th grade list though. Yeah, man.
Ike, I'm just a victim of the educational system. You feel me?
Anywho,
I'm a
I
refugee.
don't know. I think it's just a
Hey,
PA
Corey.
thing. Maybe PA got bad.
Hey, Corey, I just want to let you know it's got to be
Yeah,
about the spelling bee because United States is ranked #1 in the world for
Yeah.
education.
I don't know.
We
That's not
got paid
education
for
for
it.
the color folks,
Okay.
though. Yeah, man. But yeah, he's not colored. He grew up in Phoenixville, so that don't
Yeah, I'm white as shit. Listen, one thing
You can't
about
claim
me,
that you ain't grown where the zombies is at right now. Yeah, man.
I embrace my whiteness when I
know you
when I
do.
need to. I embrace
Yeah,
my
I know.
whiteness when I need to.